Hi, this is Tom in North Carolina. I spent the week in Columbus, Ohio, and where Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I did an excellent job during the day. Unfortunately, for the evening meal, I probably overindulged on all 3 of those days. But then Thursday and Friday were good days again. So let's see how that affected my weight, and we'll talk about this week's diet. Alexa, what day is it?
It's Saturday, June 16th.
This week, I weighed 176.8 pounds. Taking a look, and now I've lost over 23 pounds. I'm 0.2 pounds better than what my goal is, and still average about 1 pound a week. So overall, I'm right on track. I just want to take a quick look at what I did. Back in January 6th, I predicted that 5 months from now I would be at 177, and I'm actually at 176.8. And given that your weight fluctuates during the day, I'm pretty much right on track. That's how consistent this weight loss program is if you just simply reduce your calories. So this week I mentioned I was in Columbus. I was working. And Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday had an excellent morning and afternoon. And then when it came to the evening meals, I just ate more than what I expected to. What I was eating wasn't all the greatest, the healthiest stuff either. So I'm just taking a quick look back here, and there's definitely a trend that at nighttime I'm eating more than what I should if I'm going to have a problem. So that's something I'm going to need to really think upon is, why is it that when I go out with my work buddies that I have a tendency to want to eat more than I should. It's not like they have a gun to my head and said, hey, let's have some fun, and if you don't eat, we're not going to be your friend anymore or something like that. It's nothing like that at all. So why is it? And I'm going to have to think about that to get a control on it. Obviously it's not too bad because I've lost everything that I've wanted to, but it could be better, and I just want it to be. This week, I thought we'd go over the Biggest Loser diet. I should mention that I'm not a real big TV watcher, and I can't say that I've ever watched one of these shows from the beginning to the end. Now, while scrolling through the channels looking for something, I've watched maybe 2 or 3 or 5 minutes of one of them or 2 of them, and I got the general idea of what they're trying to do, but I've never watched the whole thing. So everything I know about this diet is based on this webpage right here. So hopefully they got it right, because obviously it's a quite a well-known diet. They say the theory is we eat too many of the wrong foods and not enough of the right ones, and we sit around too much. And the solution: eat regular meals that emphasize filling calories from all these things. Get a food journal and get up off the sofa. And that all sounds reasonable. In order to get going on this diet, there's several books that you could buy. They recommend a menu based on their food pyramid, and then exercise. So you learn about food. That's the big thing here, and you keep a journal of it. Then their book has preventing and reversing diabetes and lowering blood pressure, so it takes these 2 medical issues and addresses them individually. Okay, so how much does it cost? Cost of the book, that's fine, but if you wanted a boot camp, it would cost $40 for 30 days. It includes daily workout videos with no equipment. Or you can go to a resort. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, and it looks like it costs in the upper 2,000s per week. Now, will you lose weight? It looks like the answer is yes. You have calorie restriction and exercise. That is the formula to lose weight, period. One or the other or both. Here's a couple of studies, and they all came to the conclusion that you do lose weight. And is it easy to follow? They say it is, because it's It doesn't ban entire food groups. You shouldn't have trouble complying long term. It does have some recipes. It does allow for eating out, but being smart about it. It does allow for alcohol, but be smart about it. It does have some prepackaged meals, though it says it prefers not to be home cooked. And they do have a whole bunch of stuff that is labeled Biggest Loser. Okay, so that all makes sense. And health and nutrition, yep, it says they zero in on cardiovascular, so it should be. And they do zero in on diabetes, so it should also. They don't recommend supplements. I haven't really talked about that, but I have to agree with that, no. And since it does emphasize plant-based foods, it is vegetarian or vegan friendly, but it does recommend that you do have fish and white meat, basically. You could be gluten, yeah. So the only thing that I read somewhere else in here was that maybe the salt intake was higher than what is recommended. Here I don't see it in this little section right here, but I saw it somewhere else. And since you can choose any food that you want, you can make it whatever restrictions you have because of your beliefs. And so finally we get to expert reviews. And this thing was rated 19th in the best diets overall. And over here, overall rating, 3 out of 5 stars. It said it has fast weight loss, but it's not overly special compared with other diets, according to many panelists. So why? So I'm getting kind of frustrated with this expert reviews. Why does a diet have to be special in order to be effective? And it's merely capitalizing on the name. Yeah, so you have a diet that says if you want to lose weight, you restrict the calories, and that's going to be true with all diets, so nothing wrong with that. And they also recommend exercise. And while I'm not a big fan of exercising for losing weight, I am a big fan for it for health reasons. I don't see anything that they're doing wrong here, so why only 3 stars out of 5? And I just don't get it. Okay, so they go out of their way in this book, from what I read, that help you prevent diabetes or cure yourselves of diabetes, and they only get 3 out of 5. What would it take to get 5, I wonder? Let's just see here. What's the best diet? So the best diet was the Mediterranean, where I got 3.7. Emphasis on fruits, vegetables, olive oil, fish, and other healthy fare. Sounds very, very close to what I just read with the Biggest Loser diet. Okay, so it says that the food is easy to eat, but the meal prep can be tedious. So this may or may not be true. I didn't read anything in the summaries that said anything about tedious meal prep. In fact, I read there was only really not too many recipes, but maybe it's the combination of carbohydrates and protein and fat that they want that you have to be careful for. This was an average score for healthy diets. To what I read, it recommends the right food for what most people think are heart-healthy diets, and it also recommends exercise, which is very important when it comes to heart health. So, yeah. I just don't understand how you can get 5 out of 5 stars. What about this diet is not heart healthy? Obviously it thinks that it's not for some reason. Long term, it could be pricey, and it does have exercise on it, so I'm going to agree with that. Nutrition, yeah, alright. So let's see if I could follow this diet. Does it restrict the food you love? Overall, it looks like pretty much no, it doesn't, so that's good. Does it promote specific food? Well, I mean, in some ways it does, but it recommends more proportion, so I'm going to go with that. That's good. It does not prevent you from eating anything. Is there a reoccurring cost? I'm going to say yes. It seems to want to hook you and give you a book, but then it wants to sell you more and more and more. So it may not be an annual or a yearly cost. It looks like if you buy into the program, you're probably going to be spending a lot of money on different options. Does it address wayward thinking about food behavior? I would have to say no. I can't see that at all from what I read. Now, I could be wrong there, but it from what I just read, it doesn't. And can it be done for the rest of your life? I'm going to put down no there, because of all the exercise and the motivation behind that exercise. What I mean by that is the DVDs and everybody encouraging you to do it. I just don't see how anyone could follow this diet the rest of their life. If you've never exercised in this intensity before the diet, I highly doubt you're going to have that intensity of exercise for the rest of your life. So overall, I couldn't do it. And as far as this is concerned, I think this is the last one I'm going to do. I'm pretty frustrated with it. I think overall, this overview, the health and nutrition, recipes and do's and don'ts, this is a wealth of information for all of these kind of diets, and it seems to be pretty well researched. But this expert reviews and the final rankings, I just can't agree with it at all. So this is the last one I'm going to do. So here's the takeaway from the last 3 weeks. If you're interested in how to lose weight and you think you need a diet to follow, this is a pretty good research to look at the overview, what to expect, what you're going to be eating, whether you need to have certain recipes or can you do it on your own. But when it comes to expert reviews and the overall ranking, don't pay any attention to these. These are obviously biased in some way. So just look at these 4 things and be done with it. So we'll start something new next week. See you then. Bye.